Internet. It is I.
You are right there. Sounds kind of like you. It sounds like you wanted to wind yourself up a little bit more, but then you died halfway through.
Well, see what happened is I used all of my air on the hello, and then was kind of just
right based on what I just heard.
I mean, given how shit your lung capacity is, I'd buy it.
This is your favorite podcast that happens at Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. It's the Fanfiction Contempt Theater 9002 podcast.
Can someone kill me?
Joined today by Max and Atin, and we got a guest star of Cruel Rune just chilling in the back.
Hi.
Holy shit, that's the loudest his mic has been since I've met him.
Yes.
I think that's because the fan is off today, so the mic automatically adjusted.
Huh.
But anyway.
Oh, we have. Is Tahunka Barracks new, or?
Is who
I don't
now?
recognize that name. Someone in the chat saying hello.
Hello, Barracks. I see you've managed to figure out how to use Twitch long enough to join in chat again.
Wait, who's finally managed to join us?
Barracks is a person from another Discord I'm in, and he's a blind idiot.
Ah. So much like us.
No, that's literally the role he has in that Discord, is blind idiot.
Okay. Alright then.
Someone deleted my... Oh my god, my Reddit comment has been deleted?
What was it?
I'll PM it to you.
Oh boy.
Jesus Christ.
I'm so glad I took a picture of it then. Oh, Jesus Christ, has it really been deleted?
I mean, I assume it has. It's not like you just get those messages out of the ether.
Yeah, it's been shadow banned.
God, I hate you.
Oh boy. I mean, it makes sense. It's just that, it doesn't fit in well with certain agendas.
We're not doing this. Move the fuck
Yeah,
on.
let's not do this.
Alright. Oh god, okay. So, today we actually got a nice large selection. We got some Harry... Is Arn here today? If Arn's not here today, I'm not going to do Harry Potter.
Do you hate him that
I don't
much?
see him.
No, it doesn't look like he's here today. So,
I was gonna ping him, but he's also offline on the Discord, so it doesn't matter.
Yep. So that means no Harry Potter today, which means we get to do some fun shit. Okay, so, yeah, this one looks pretty good. This looks like a good one to start the night off with.
Oh god.
God, the more you talk, the more nervous I get.
So, as always, lads, keep in mind that it is against Twitch's terms of service to contact or otherwise communicate in any form or fashion with the author. But the link is in the Discord if you wish to follow along. So, reveal! Today's first story is going to be a Bleach High School D times D crossover.
Oh, sweet God, no.
Whenever
you say High School D times D, my soul it doesn't die anymore. It just kind of, it shrivels a little bit more as it tries harder to curl into the fetal position.
High School Bleach! It has been 2 years since Ichigo lost his powers in the battle against Aizen. One day, he is suddenly pulled into another dimension of reality itself by a powerful being in order to complete a task for it. With his powers restored, new ones added to his arsenal, he must take the new challenges that come his way. All whilst attending a school with a certain group of devils.
That was horrible.
And we mean your dramatic reading, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are you gonna say, can I...
Do you want me to just find you a voice modulator?
Yes.
I don't know if it would help much. Like, I don't think he'd be smart enough to use it.
Oi, fuck you, lad.
even if he was smart enough to use it, the odds of him being able to use it without it just like spontaneously combusting are like 4%.
Anyway, so this is
You can't
chapter
argue that one.
Area 0. In a realm that was bleak and devoid of color, two beings were engaged in a battle of titanic proportions. One was a humanoid figure that had dark gray skin and looked slightly demonic. The other, which seemed to lack definite and solid form, was what appeared to be some sort of shadowy serpent. It was around 20 meters long and 5 meters wide thick. The two had been battling for longer than either could care to remember. But they did remember their main purposes. The ethereal black serpent was a being that desired chaos and destruction indiscriminately, whilst the humanoid being wished to stop the serpent and keep peace. Both were more or less evenly matched. However, they were being worn down and were nearing their limits. I have to put a stop to this, thought the humanoid being as he skidded across the flat stone ground, pale blue lightning crackling briefly around him. Sasuke? I can't last much longer. I'll have to finish this in one move.
Can I just say I hate those things? Listen, if you've got some kind of move that can end a fight in one go, you don't wait until you're
Use it in the starting.
Yeah, you don't wait until it's like
honestly,
round 10 to use that. You use that at the start of the fight.
I will give kudos to Undertale for that, in that they had Sans just immediately start off with that bullshit, and him immediately going, huh,
Yeah.
I always wondered why people didn't start off with their strongest move.
No, and at that time, I was like, you know what?
hang
This is the
on.
kind of thing that I played this game for. This kind of
Commentary.
witty meta commentary of,
But,
okay,
like, to be fair, there are smart ways to do that. Like,
You wait for the right moment to use it, just when people think that you're like...
not even that. Like, it's been a while. I can't remember what it was from, but like, guy had to do 4 battles back to back, and his final move always took a little bit out of him. It's like, I can't use this until the last boss. Like, shit like that. Like,
well, yeah, but that's a little bit different.
The gamer mentality of, I have to save this just in case, even when you don't have to save it.
Yeah, like, even like in... Have any of you ever read Hajime no Ippo?
No.
No, I'm aware of it, that, like, is this referring to the Dempsey Punch?
You know, like, the later version of the Dempsey roll literally grates on his tendons, like it would actually ruin the muscles in his legs.
I've
he can
heard
only
rumors,
use it so many times.
I've heard rumors of jet engine sound effects for that.
Okay, so think about it this way. So he's making centrifugal motion by moving himself in like an 8, right? So every single time that he comes up from like a movement, he can punch really hard. But if he tries to stop in the middle of this motion and reposition, the amount of strain that he puts in his body would literally tear his leg apart.
Yeah.
So he can only do it so many times before he literally
Right, but see, that's different from like, oh, I'm like 90% certain I am the fastest draw in the West. Like, okay, draw as fast as you can every fight.
Oh yeah, but that's like a one-shot thing, you know.
But like, listen,
I guess I should stop.
That's why
back.
Han Solo was as awesome as Han Solo was, because at least before they threw out the EU, they were like, look, even at age 50, Han Solo is still faster on the draw than like 75% of the beings in the galaxy, and that's at 50.
Oh yeah. Yo, do you think General Grievous would be a faster draw?
I mean, I think he'd be faster on the draw, but since he doesn't use guns, and he doesn't have the force...
In a hypothetical situation.
He does have a blaster at some point.
Do you think Yoda would be faster draw because he doesn't have to draw that far?
I mean, that's a legitimate question, but then you run into a different problem of his arms are super stubby.
No,
like,
are we including force powers here? Because he doesn't have to worry about how fast...
Okay, without force powers, only physical speed / strength.
I mean, if we're
No.
talking about Yoda when
I
he's not
don't.
900, maybe?
No, we're talking like about young Yoda. Okay, wait.
Yeah,
I
yeah, that's
can't
what I'm saying. Like, if we're talking about, like...
I can't imagine young Yoda.
See, now I just have the mental image of Yoda just being like, "What do you
Without
come back?
wrinkles.
This one
Without-
is," and he like stomps the ground and raises his hands. All the fucking guns around him just raise and point at you and start firing wildly.
Oh, no, see, here's the thing. I was picturing young Yoda...
Oh no, I googled young Yoda.
No, let me finish. I was imagining young Yoda cosplaying as Revolver Ocelot.
Apparently, Jedi Padawans hated young Yoda.
Oh, I'm
Well, of course they did. He made them all look like chumps.
I mean, that is true. Imagine like somebody who's legally a midget comes and just wrecks you when you think you're pretty fucking good.
I was gonna say, he doesn't just wreck you. He utterly humiliates you.
And then schools you while talking reverse.
Anyway. He then envisioned a certain spiky, orange-haired teen within his mind.
Okay, so it is... Sasuke.
I am sorry for this.
That
he
could
thought.
be any anime protagonist.
But
I
it
thought
seems...
this was High School D times D in Bleach.
Calm the fuck. I'm sorry for this, he thought, but it seems I must take you as my successor, Ichigo Kurosaki. It sounds a little bit gay.
Yeah, no, this is Bleach in High School D time. Fucking Naruto doesn't get mentioned in this here anywhere.
Nope. The being.
He doesn't even mention it in the
Wait till
disclaimer.
Rosario Vampire shows up. It always does.
Yeah, oh no. I really hope you're joking. I am sorry
Mate,
for
listen,
this.
if there's ever a cross, there's always two fandoms that show up because people think that nobody's gonna catch on to them. One is fucking Rosario, and the second is Campione. They always fucking show up in some in every multi-cross.
They kind of do, don't they? I shall now put an end to this battle, he declared, as he went into a stance with his legs slightly bent and his palms facing each other in front of his chest, as though he was holding a ball. Rainbow-colored energy began charging between the two palms, spiraling
That's the other
and
thing.
twisting
Don't
wildly.
announce to the other guy that you're gonna do your
I
don't
am
announce to
doing my
him
special
the
move
special.
now!
See, by the way, shit like this is why I appreciate Jack Racken.
They're
Like,
just
I'm gonna do a special move. Wait, a special move? Yeah, I have like hundreds. Oh.
Okay, no, let's be
Okay.
honest here. His special move is I'm motherfucking Jack Racket.
No, that's his final move.
that's his like supreme finisher.
Like,
Fucking Jack
I
Racket.
appreciate characters that are just like, I will now show my special move blank. It's like, okay, cool. Here's my other special move blank. It's like, wait, how many of these do you have? More than enough.
I don't know, 30, 40.
I
Like
still love that.
there was this one fan fiction where I think Shiro, somebody asked him how many swords he has. He said, I've got a few. And then later on he uses unlimited blade works, and I think it was Sona C3 who was a few swords he said he had. A few swords.
I still think I still think I like Negima a lot, especially the Jack Racken in general. The freaking ending. Jack, how are you alive? Oh, I punched myself back into existence because I was bored not existing.
I actually reread through it last year, and it's like, oh, that's right. It's like, why'd you come back? I haven't finished business, kid. Don't
Just
worry.
like, I'm
I'll be out of your
sorry,
hair in
what?
he just wills himself back into existence for an hour.
No,
and
it
then
wasn't
it's
that he willed
all right.
himself.
I
he
love
literally
characters
punched
like that.
himself. He
Especially
literally punched
okay, so
himself.
I love
back
characters who are
into
like, hey,
existence.
you're never gonna be strong. Well, nobody told me that.
You're not
For
supposed
example,
to be strong.
for example, Netero from fucking Hunter x Hunter, he became strong because he learned how to punch really fast. That's basically his thing. I'm gonna do a prayer before every punch till I pray so fast that my punch becomes faster. How does that work? Fuck if I know. Also, here's a gigantic glowing Buddha.
By the way, I'm secretly a 40k psyker.
Isn't that
come on,
just
that's what
Hunter
that
times
is.
Hunter in general. Everyone's just secretly a slaker.
I mean, now that you mention it,
Somewhere off in the distance, the black ships are already coming.
Demon Lord's hero, Saji.
You can fly again.
What is with plots and people ceasing to exist instead of dying? It's just a way to skirt around death so you can make the death form permanent. No, literally, the whole point of it happening in Negima is the author wanted a quick end because he was afraid that his story was going to be taken away from him. But not only that, but also the entire plot of the Mars arc was that none of them ever existed.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this much: I appreciate. I've only seen it once, but a villain's like, why do you erase people instead of just killing them? Because if there's a body, they might come back.
I mean,
Like,
listen,
That's
if you
fair.
spent any time in the DCU, that is a perfectly valid complaint.
Yeah, like, I don't remember what it was from. I just have this really cool image. I just had this really cool memory of, like, why did you take the time to learn how to erase people from existence itself? Just so they can't come back. No one has found a way to bring people back, so if I do this, I guarantee they're gone.
Anyway.
Back to this.
Rainbow color, blah blah blah. Shiko no Siren Body Shaduru!
No, I
Supreme
didn't even
scattering
bother.
bind seal, he roared before the circle under him glowed intensely. Suddenly, countless white chains and countless black chains burst from the ground under the serpent and constricted its movement. Then 4 large stone slabs rose up around it, followed by a flash of light and the serpent shrieking in agony. Once the light had died down, the serpent was down to 1/4 of its original size and power. The lost mass appeared as a large, shadowy blob which separated into 200 pieces before vanishing. I'm sure this won't be plot relevant.
No! You know, I think
Go for it, Birdie.
those blobs are gone, and we're never going to see them again.
You ready? You ready? You're gonna
Okay, Birdie,
Well,
let's see
sure,
this
Birdie,
masterpiece.
we're
look at the play the chat.
I see. So how's gender bent sneaky coming along?
It's in the chat.
I'm gonna have to watch that
Oh.
podcast to see what I missed.
Yeah,
There
man.
is-
I
There was
100%
no-
approve of this.
There is no context for what's coming out of what I assume to be Jorp's mouth, and I'm very confused.
No, that's something from Joe's podcast. That is his thing.
That's his caveat of that he's not advocating suicide.
Okay.
Instead of saying Isekai like you do, he just says in Minecraft.
Go Isekai. Oh.
I will say this, in Sneaky's defense, it's one of the more creative ones I've heard.
Okay. So I need to preface this with 1, I made a masterpiece, but also 2, it is technically a template. There are these things you can get off Google where they're group pictures and then you just put your own things on there. So I went
Oh,
for
yes.
those.
I mean, you still did the
I'm-
actual art, though.
Yeah. Also, super good now that I'm not in that picture because none of those would fit whatever the fuck was going on. In
Is that Atin? Is the you're getting us cake person Atin? Is that?
Of course
That
it's
has-
me!
Yes, that's
that has to
Of
be.
course
right.
it is.
I was gonna say, she even put, what is that? The Bears?
It's something Chicago.
Like, I'm pretty sure it's the Chicago Bears thing.
But
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
which
that's-
doesn't make.
that's-
I was gonna say,
that's-
which is fine,
No.
completely inaccurate because I know I pay zero attention to sports.
Wait, I thought it was the Chicago Cubs.
Whatever.
No, the Cubs is a
Cubs.
blue sea. Or
Yeah.
No, the Cubs is a
blue.
red sea and a
no,
blue
oh, no, it's-
circle.
the Bears are an orange sea, but the Cubs sea is supposed to be more round.
I googled Chicago and
I
then-
googled Chicago.
the Chicago Bears is an orange bear.
No, Max, they literally have an orange sea. I'm gonna send it to you right now.
Cool. I'm just letting you know what Google is showing me.
Max, I googled the Chicago Bears. I went to images. It's on their helmets. It's literally the logo on their helmets.
I I still love how perfect that fits Atin's face. I have seen him make that face in reality before.
I would say, for reference, Max, this is the Cubs' logo. Okay, that link is 6 million years long.
I've already seen the Cubs logo, Atin. If you send it to me, I will smack you.
He's already a cub.
I didn't
Just
send
read
it
through the
to you.
internet.
Calm down.
Oh, hey, Isley's here just in time for the gender bending stuff.
Isley! No, Isley, did you see my gender
Jesus
bend?
Christ. Oh.
It's beautiful.
10
What?
out
Is
of
it on
10.
stream? I haven't seen stream.
It was. I was displaying it on the stream for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he had it up there.
She can always check the Discord in the 9K chat as well. So
Oh, God.
I was gonna say, I'm just gonna pin that.
yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
That way, if anyone ever asks what the first piece of good fan art was,
Oh, some shade being thrown.
Kelm, are you gonna take that line down?
Oh, I'm just not making anything because I'm too bored and you don't deserve it.
that's fine. It's a pretty valid complaint.
Wait, what's he taking down?
No, he's not doing
Sneaky,
anything.
Sneaky, try to pay attention, please.
It's okay,
What?
Sneak man.
I am so confused.
It's okay, I am too.
I apparently clearly just completely missed something. Okay, well, let's just keep going. There was a poof of white smoke and Serpent was now inside Rock and frozen in place, also bound in chains. Ichigo, it won't be much, but I shall restore your powers and transfer my strength to you. Please, finish the task I could not. The being then rose to its feet. Another magic circle appeared beneath it. It was then followed by materializing in front of him and behind him, with one final one appearing above his head. It's box time, everyone! Magical
Oh no,
circle
not box time.
Boxes?
It had been roughly 2 years since Ichigo had lost his soul leap of powers in the battle against Aizen, making him currently 17 years old, and thus of legal age.
Of course.
That's a
You
very
can't fuck the honeys.
That's the strangest artistic liberty you've taken in some time.
You know what's gonna happen, though, in this story, right?
Is it rated M or T? Oh, fuck.
Of course. Well, at least, unlike a certain other person's stories that are rated T and have a gratuitous sex in them.
Woo!
We don't talk about those.
Let's go.
We
You
don't
know
acknowledge
who
the
I'm talking
existence of that
about.
individual on this podcast.
2 years
yes.
of leading a normal life of an average
You're
high
not big
schooler.
enough.
2 years of adult life. Yeah,
Yup,
we're not-
that's exactly
no.
why we don't. We're worried. We're too worried about offending someone bigger
He
than
just
us.
overshadows
Yeah,
us
dude.
completely, and we just can't even compare to him.
Is that dragon kid?
Yes.
Is
Or-
that dragon?
I-
The dragon
actually-
kid.
Sneaky, I was keeping like a real-time update on that, by the way, that entire conversation. It's like, I'm just gonna sit here, because he's not asking for anyone in particular. So I got to watch him block us immediately after the first one, like, I assume as you were typing up a reply.
I watched a block happen in real time.
Who was it?
You'll see that happen a lot when I'm involved.
Wait,
Oh, we
wait,
know.
Who got blocked? Can you please explain?
Oh, Fairy Tail Dragon Slayer blocked me again.
Oh,
yeah,
wait,
no, he's blocked me
Yeah.
too. It's quite lovely.
yeah,
Hello,
he-
children.
I love that he-
Ninja
He
Joy.
actually
this.
takes time to unblock people.
Yeah, I know, right? This is my I'm not home. Well, Jorp, you just missed probably some of the best, if my unbiased opinion is any means of judging.
You're late, boy. You disappointed me. I've been disappointed.
Isley, why did you go
What?
bother? Why did you go bother him?
He blocked Isley too.
Isley, what did you do?
Oh god.
What could Isley have even done? I actually want to know.
Everything.
Oh Jesus Christ! All right, yeah. So,
Anyways,
Jorp, if you come on over to the
Politely
Discord,
invited him to the stream a few weeks ago.
yeah.
Oh.
Apparently, get this right. Apparently, I have no fans. But when multiple fans ask him to come on the stream, he blocks them all.
I mean, sounds like that sounds like him.
Just hit the Windows key and type the word snip in.
Yeah,
Hit
that's
enter.
a lot better than using print screen.
Yeah.
Snip is amazing.
Yeah, he got me started using Snip, so I use it now.
I would stop going off about how great Snip is until
Everybody uses it.
Until either someone makes a better version or it starts stealing your credit card details.
exactly. But
Oh,
do
please.
you know?
It's not like he has money to steal.
Ninja needs your help, and what you need to do to save him from the Ligma in Fortnite is give me your credit card numbers and then the lucky numbers on the back of the credit card.
We'll save him.
And I will send aid to assist
Oh,
Ninja
you caught yourself
from the
just
Ligma.
in time, Sneaky.
Oh, lovely, Sneaky.
You nearly PewDiePied yourself.
How did you even...
Well, Ninja and Ligma, and my brain was like, it's a joke about Ninja and Ligma. Better combine the two.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, though. You said it, and for a second I'm like, wait, are we on Batman villains now? And then apparently no one heard what I heard. It's like, oh. Oh,
Yeah.
no, did Sneaky fuck up?
No. I also heard Edward,
No, I definitely heard the start of a something that shouldn't be said. Something that would annoy the FCC.
Oh,
That's a
jeez.
very large list, though.
Yeah, that's a very large list.
No, Isley, the only way around that is you can get his half of the conversation in your email, and that's it.
Yeah.
You can't actually show what you sent.
That's why I was taking live screenshots of every little bit of the conversation, because I knew he was going to block me.
That's one of the problems with fanfiction.net is if a author blocks you, you just lose access to the chat log for some reason.
Yep. That's the thing. He sent me a message and then blocked me, and I'm like, but I want to read the message at least.
I want to read your belittling, insulting message at least, so I can get a laugh out of you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, at least some comedy.
But
I want to try and get banned, but not enough to actually make a fanfiction account.
Wow.
Wait, banned from fanfic? That's
No,
really
that-
hard.
No.
No, you have to
Dragon
fuck up
Ball.
in a spectacular way to actually get banned on fanfiction.
Yeah.
Do you mean you want to get
FD
blocked by someone?
Blocks, that one.
Okay.
Whatever. You know what I'm
No, we
saying.
don't.
I mean,
No, I have
I
never
can
met
barely
someone who
parse
wants to
what
actively
Sneaky's saying. Now, granted, Sneaky's the most incomprehensible human being I've ever met, but still.
But
No,
you know
whoa,
me.
whoa, hold on. Hold on. I have a quote to reply to you for this, and Max knows it.
You're irrelevant. Oh my god, fuck off.
hang on. Which quote is this?
Savvy?
Got a good number.
It's my savvy
We
one.
quoted.
Where is it?
Yes, truly, the snappiest of comebacks.
I always make sense unless the person I'm making sense to doesn't make sense of the sense I'm making. Savvy.
Let's see. Wow, people
That-
just joined into
Oh god,
Oh, it's
this is turning into
welcome.
a party. Oh hey, it's Jorp.
it's Jordan,
We got a full
finally.
house today.
Yep. Rare.
Cavalcade of stupidity. And some guest stars.
Don't worry, kids. I won't be on long. I'm in the car right now, but Birdie said I had to see this masterpiece theater.
You Did you?
Oh,
did you
fine,
scroll
I'll
up in
bring it
chat?
up.
Yeah.
I saw it. It's beautiful. It captured all of my best angles.
Yes, that's exactly what I thought, Jordan.
And it avoided all of my bad angles, which is all of them.
No,
I'm glad that Max is not.
I actually think Birdie was
Sorry,
pretty much
what?
spot on with you.
I'm just glad that Max is not in it, because he doesn't deserve that.
Oh!
Wow,
Ooh.
that makes it sound like it was some sort of negative thing, my dude. That was
I
not
was actually
negative
going to go
at
to you
all.
for some consulting work, jackass.
Personally, I like that I've got the biggest titties in the group, you know? I've got some real fucking milkers. I'm ready for action.
Okay, granted, no. Sneaky
Someone
did
just go
have
ahead
some
and
pretty
clip that,
large
run that out as
buttocks.
podcast for
Figure out
us.
how to draw the ruffles over them.
Alright, C8, you got your job for the night. Got your clean clip. Find it.
I heard tits.
I have faith in you.
Oh my god.
Oh, you clip that, you keep that. Every time you're feeling lonely, just play it back for yourself.
Go away.
Oh my god.
What?
I don't even anymore. I don't even anymore.
Oh my god,
Okay.
he doesn't even do it anymore.
Him again! Anyway, he felt like he belonged in the world of the supernatural. After all, he had been able to see souls from when he was born, even before he became a substitute soul reaper. To be suddenly cut off from that world, he felt great sadness. But it was his choice. He knew what the consequences of the final Kitsuga Tensho. Gotta capitalize that author, because that's actually fucking important. That's why Zangetsu had tried to stop him from learning it. He had willingly sacrificed his power to save everyone, so he didn't dwell on it too much. Besides, his friends were still keeping Karakura Town safe from any hollows, while he didn't fully like the prospect.
To be fair, he said it would be a very short period of time.
Yes.
They did.
Clinton
Which,
got
granted, since he's in the car, that's probably a good thing.
Yes.
Probably.
It was currently a Saturday morning, so he was free with nothing to do. His part-time job's boss, Misakumi, had given him the weekend off. Despite all that, however, he was bored.
Hey, back.
Oh,
I can still hear you while I'm here in the car. It's just I'm in push to talk, so I don't want to hear you. Vroom, 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 vroom. Why is Joe Rep sound so fucking crazy?
well, here's my question. You're not driving, right?
No, he's definitely driving.
Of course I'm fucking driving. Why would I be driving?
Ah.
He doesn't believe in giving women the ability to drive, so of course he's the one behind the wheel.
I was really talking more about the safety violations, but okay.
Bree, you need to seize his phone immediately for his own safety.
I see.
I'm the only person in the vehicle.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
So it's a Tesla.
Look, I don't know about you silly fuckers, but God saw fit to give me two eyes. So you got one on the road, you got one on whatever else is going on. You're doing just
George, eyes don't work like that.
Look towards the same side.
maybe yours don't.
Oh boy.
I mean, listen, at least two of the people on this show are technically legally blind, so...
Well, I'm sorry for your disability. No, the reality is I'm in the parking lot. I'm in the parking lot of a Target now. I'm just kind of sitting here. I'm about to go inside, mind you. But I'm sitting here, the bullshit gabbing. You know, Bertie, it was a beautiful picture. It was a great picture. I'm really impressed. I love that you caught my soft side.
I have no idea. What did I catch? I couldn't hear you over the sound of
You
men
caught
giggling.
his soft side.
Oh yeah. No, and you should ask him why he's wearing a vest.
Why am I wearing a vest?
Why are you wearing a vest?
Why is he wearing a vest?
Well, because there's an absolutely embarrassing video of him in a vest, and it's fantastic. And I was hoping he would drop it in chat.
Oh, that's a classic. I'll drop it in chat when I get home. Or you can search It wasn't on my main channel. The video is called Joezilla, but it's me in a vest stomping around a children's play place at a mall.
What?
Blessed are those that can laugh at themselves, I suppose.
This was like 10 years ago, okay? I'm over it. I'm an adult now.
Weren't you like 24 10 years ago?
How do you think I am?
Listen,
Oh boy,
Sneaky is not an accurate judge of age.
He's
Ever.
really not.
Yeah, Sneaky's like... Sneaky, how old am I?
I don't know, 18.
I'm still in my 20s.
Oh god, no.
Barely. He's barely in his 20s.
He's quite proud of the fact.
He's clinging on to the 20s as hard as he possibly can.
I've still got another 8 months.
Oh boy.
Oh, well,
If I wanted to pull that thing out fucking hella premature, I could impregnate a woman and have a baby before I'm 30. It would be a Brady baby. It would probably have cerebral palsy, but it would be mine fucking under 30.
oh,
I see you're very passionate about this.
I really appreciate all the effort Jorp goes into making this podcast sound like it's some fucking short band FM radio call-in show. He's even got the mic quality for it.
Yep.
Well, this isn't my usual setup. I'm in the car in the fucking Target parking lot on my cell phone. What do you want?
Just like every other co-host.
I wanted you to plan to be home. I gave you plenty of advance.
Oh my god.
Children, that's enough arguing, children.
But because I have the utmost respect for Birdie and her ovaries and the fact that she likes to draw things, I said I'll take time out of my busy day to do it. To ensure that I sit down in this fucking parking lot in this hot ass car to make sure I see this picture.
Well,
Oh, no.
I'm glad you called in, Jorp. You can always call in again.
Oh, you know, that's why I love. That's why I love the show. You guys tell like, you know, for those of you who are watching, I don't need to tell you to subscribe to True Sneaky Devil because you're already fucking here and if you haven't, fuck you. But, you know,
You've somehow heard of the man.
I love. What?
You've somehow heard of the man.
Yeah, somehow I got past the filters.
Somehow you were cursed enough to stumble into this podcast.
I love how you took a break before podcast. That just makes it that much better.
Yeah, no,
Listen,
it's funny.
my time as an entertainer has been short, but my sense of comedic timing remains passable.
Shoddy.
Underdeveloped.
Passively shoddy.
Kind of
It's one
there,
of the great-
but not
one of the
really.
great unsung shows of Twitch, because you can either watch another fucking 12-year-old asshole play Fortnite, or you can watch True Sneaky Devil. The choice is yours.
Honestly, you may
that's-
get less cancer watching the 12-year-old.
Yeah, that's a
I mean, likely, yeah.
Yeah, until the FBI kicks your door, you fucking pedophile.
I don't know how many 12-year-old titty streamers there are on Twitch, though. I would be careful there, Jorp, before you go slinging accusations around.
I would say, it sounds like the kind of thing you gotta go looking for, and it sounds like he's gone looking.
Oh no.
Ooh.
This is getting dark. This is getting dark in a hurry.
Alright, well, we'll let you go, Jorp. You get out of that hot car and you go into the nice, cool Target. We'll continue with this
Target.
garbage.
Go into
Nice,
Target,
cool
have a Starbucks beverage, like a fucking bougie cis white person. Look, all right, look, here's the thing. I'm letting you guys go. I'm out of here. Look, the thing is, I have to go back in time because I'm not going to wait for the world to get woke, and I have to build a new race for my people, make Outworld great again, buy Mortal Kombat 11, watch True Sneaky. I'll see you guys later.
God damn it.
Well, at least you have a plan.
Oh god.
Oh, I love
I haven't
Jorp.
laughed that hard in quite some time.
I love Jorp.
There were many
Alright.
confessions made that day.
Boy.
My poor wee lungs. I need more alcohol.
My lungs are burning. Let's put some alcohol in it.
I don't think you understand how the anything works actually, based off that statement. But if he's pouring alcohol directly into his lungs, he has a bigger problem.
Who knows, he thought. I might end up seeing Chad or Hime or maybe even one of the others who don't bear mentioning.
Who don't bear mentioning?
As he walked down the stairs from his room, he saw his younger sister Yazu at the bottom. Hey Yazu! He greeted as he walked past her. She turned to face him. Hello, big brother Ichi! She greeted back. Where are you going? I'm going out for a walk. I've got nothing else to do. Okay, we'll come back after lunch. We'll come back before lunch, okay? I'll make something special. Huh, sure, he replied with a rare smile.
Why is
as he
everybody
put on his
fucking,
shoes.
Why is everybody sounding like Solid Snake?
Bye, take care. Don't worry, I will.
He has a very limited voice range.
It's just Solid Snake.
I mean, still technically a range.
Well, you are right about that. Yeah.
A firing range, heyo!
Get out. This is your show, but get out.
Jeez.
By the way, Sneaky, apparently Shota hasn't seen Slayers, so I know what my family time is going to consist of.
Showing him a decently good comedy anime?
Exactly, well done, well done.
I mean, I haven't seen Slayers either.
Well, unfortunately,
We'll get
Atin,
to that
I am unable to force you to watch it, but I can likely make Crowbar force you to watch it.
Has Crowbar seen it?
I don't think so.
We will force them to force the other one to watch it.
Exactly. Because Crowbar is far easier to influence than Atin.
I mean, that's just because I hate everybody.
Even me? I'm so hurt.
I'm pretty sure Crowbar's always been really good at telling you no.
I'm pretty sure that's the only thing she's ever told me.
Yeah.
I see.
Like I
Some
said,
woman told Sneaky no. I wonder how that situation came to pass.
like I said, she's far easier to influence than Atin.
Jesus Christ, you just made it really fucking creepy, Birdie, without any context.
Yeah. I mean, not that
Then
he isn't
opened
creepy,
the house door and stepped into the outside. It was a beautiful day and the sun was shining down, but not too harshly. He placed his hands into his trouser pocket. So, this is a Brit writing all this.
Trouser pocket, I was gonna say.
The one. Just
And
both the hands in
walked
one pocket.
along at a steady pace. It's not like there was anywhere he needed to be or anything.
Oh my god, author. I understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to drive a point home with repetition. The problem is, you're not making an important or relevant point. You've just told us 3 times he has nowhere to be. We got it the first time.
Also, he was a bit tsundere on the last point. It's not like he has anywhere to be or anything.
Yes, you're right. I'm just saying, like, author, you've made it abundantly clear.
Suddenly, Ichigo felt an extremely powerful pulling sensation.
Thank you, Birdie.
Well, someone
What?
just played that in the background.
we heard
My
you
mic is
play
supposed to be
the-
muted. I don't know
Nope.
what's going on here.
Nope.
No, it wasn't muted.
You treated the
Sorry.
entire stream to that. Not that that's a problem, mind you.
So you've been hearing me eat my sandwich? Gosh darn it.
I mean, no, we haven't been hearing you eat your sandwich
Oh,
because
well,
you're,
then I don't know.
like, a normal human being.
Oh,
Maybe that's how
Sneaky
you
eats a
eat,
sandwich.
you filthy degenerate.
Sneaky, that brings me back to the days of fried chicken and chips.
Could you Could you be any more violently Southern with that statement, Max?
It's 5 a.m.
It
and I
wasn't
have
me
nothing to
eating
eat.
it, actually. It was a Yankee.
I know, I'm just saying, like, it's still a
Fucking
violently
meeps.
Southern statement.
Fucking meeps. Actually, so my ex-girlfriend legitimately would eat food and go.
And just forget to mute, or just refuse to mute in some cases.
Meeps, are you eating it? No. How did you know?
Like, listen, there are many things about me that are worthy of complaining. But at least I'm not nose hair, and I learned, and I mute the mic when I'm eating.
Wait, somebody else can be nose hair too. But he's nose hair.
See, I thought you were gonna say I learned how to deep throat a Chicago hot dog, but you know that works too.
I think that's a birth skill.
It's
Born in Chicago,
a
you know
racial
it.
trait for Chicagoans.
I was about to say I
Yeah.
thought it was a racial trait for all Chicagoans upon reaching level 15.
That and the inability to pronounce C correctly. Luckily,
Well, how
I
did they
managed
say
to
it?
avoid that.
Mm.
See, I ditched that negative trait, but in return, I got partial blindness.
Yeah,
Not
that-
really a
okay.
worthwhile trade.
Yeah, that was
I
a
mean-
really good trade.
It's okay, only half your tax will miss.
Oh. Should have invested in Blindsight.
It's not like you invested in it either. You don't get to
Hey,
criticize.
you're both blind.
Isley learned how to deep throat. Only took 2 visits. Thank you for that information. We never needed Isley.
I see, Isley.
Isn't
Yeah,
that all of
Isley-
the information Isley has? Isley only ever tells us information that we did not want to know.
Yeah, I feel like that is factually accurate. Ichigo was surrounded by darkness when he awoke. He turned his head and looked around and found nothing. There was nothing but swirling black. Where am I? He asked, nobody in particular. Hey! Is there anybody here? A bright light that shone magnificently appeared before him. It slowly began moving towards him, but for some reason he never felt afraid. Ichigo actually felt a comfortable warmth radiating off the sphere. He raised his right hand and began reaching out to it. He didn't know why. It just felt like the right thing to do. The moment he made contact, the light enshrouded him, and he calmly fell unconscious.
What? Calmly, as opposed to what? Violently falling unconscious? Like,
I mean,
listen,
that
either
is
you have...
typically how people fall unconscious, is pretty violently.
No. Either you're violently knocked out or you fall unconscious. Like, there's a difference.
That's fair enough.
Yep.
One involves the police, and the other involves...
A good night's rest, but not by your choosing.
Exactly.
Ichigo opened his eyes to see clear blue sky. Sitting up, his eyes widened in shock as he took in the large sideways skyscrapers. No way, he said in disbelief. This is... He quickly turned to look at his clothes. Gone was his casual attire that he had been wearing. Instead, there was a jet black uniform of a Soul Reaper. He bolted to his feet and put his right hand behind his head. Sure enough, he felt it close around the handle of his oversized, constantly released Zanpakuto Zangetsu. It sure is good to see you again, Ichigo, came a deep voice from behind him. He immediately turned around and saw the spirit of his sword standing on a flagpole, his clothes billowing in the non-existent wind. Old man Zangetsu, he said in shock. Hey there, King. Ichigo then noticed another being on Zangetsu's right, a white version of himself with black sclera and golden yellow irises. His inner hollow. Ichigo was stunned, speechless. He was supposed to
That
have
was an
completely
interesting
lost
sound effect.
all of his Soul Reaper and Hollow powers. It didn't make sense for any of this to be happening. What's wrong, King? Cat got your tongue? Teased the Hollow with a grin. But you were supposed to, I was meant to, stuttered Ichigo.
Okay, hold on a minute. of all the things that Ichigo ever was in that show, whiny, pouty, stupid, the list goes on. At a complete loss for words was never one of them.
Yeah, he was always like talking, even when he was brooding.
Honestly,
he was pretty darn unflappable.
Honestly, I think the response here would be him being, the anime shock face, and then the anime angry little veins, the 4 veins on the forehead. And then he'll punch one of them in the face, shouting something along the lines of, "You told me you assholes would be gone forever," or something like that.
Honestly, by the time, if this is 2 years after the fact, he'd pretty much gotten over it at that point. He'd be like, "I thought I was done with you."
I know, but I'm just speculating a possible more Ichigo-like reaction than.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying.
I mean, that's Ichigo, yeah. That's Ichigo in a nutshell.
Yeah. I'm gonna push you in the face. That's Ichigo in a nutshell.
That's how we're introduced to him.
I was gonna say, to be fair, that is probably one of my favorite introductions to a character. Yeah, I'm gonna need 4 ambulances,
So
1 for each of these
news,
guys.
Buckos. That was the end of that chapter. We're done.
That was it.
Nothing happened.
Yeah, exactly.
So can I
robbed.
share
Go for it,
a
Birdie.
story real quick? I have not watched much anime at all, I will admit, but I have watched quite a bit of whatever that was that we were just
Bleach.
Ichigo. Bleach, yes. Many years ago when I was but a small chick.
Yeah.
I watched probably far too much, but also not enough compared to all of what they put out.
Yep. I think
Which
we're on
means
that. Yep.
my mother also has watched far too much Bleach,
Yep.
but not as much as she should probably compared to everything else. And the only thing my mother knows from
Wait,
that
your
show,
mom watched that? That's
Yeah,
a pretty cool mom.
well, she didn't want to, but the TV was in her room. That's where the Netflix was.
Oh.
That's where the Netflix was.
See, my stepmom declared Bleach and all the other animes that they played on Adult Swim and Cartoon Network as she proclaimed it as Chinese propaganda that would turn young children into sleeper agents.
I'm sorry? You want to run that by me again?
Yes.
No, I got everything I needed to out of that.
Yes. Japanese anime is Chinese propaganda that's designed to turn children into sleeper agents. Yep.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
So somehow Mama Bird, the only thing that she picked up from Bleach is "Show me your Bankai."
I mean, okay, look, that's like half the episode.
Show me your moves!
Well, once they introduced it, yeah, pretty much.
And so she
it got
says
introduced in,
this
like,
as if
episode
it's
30.
a dirty thing. So anytime anybody in the show is like, "Show me your Bankai," she's like, "Oh, he's gonna show me his Bankai."
Oh my
I see.
Truly the best timeline.
That is one of the more interesting parent reactions I think I've ever heard to Bleach.
That is awful.
That's a thing.
I thought this was hilarious.
Oh no,
We agree.
It's hilarious.
My
yes.
little brother did not. He's 2 years younger than me, and is far more into anime than I am. And anytime Mom says this in her, like, "Ooh, show me your Bankai," he gets so mad, and which only makes her do
I was
it
gonna say, that's
more
only
often.
encouraging her.
Your mother's
Does he not understand how parents work?
Oh my god, that's great.
And so this is why I make dirty jokes about "Show me your Bankai."
Alright,
I mean,
so,
look, just take solace in the fact that you're not Isley.
Alright, so let us drift away from what we've normally done and do this one today.
Bless you.
So this is
Someone said it.
My Vampire Academia.
Oh no.
Rosario Vampire My Hero Academia cross.
I don't like where this is going, Sneaky.
And I actually don't even remember favoring this one, which means it's been a while.
I'm only disappointed that the My
Since
was
at
not a
least
My Little Pony.
2018.
My Vampire Academia. Izuku Midoriya, the inheritor of One for All, and All Might's world's #1 hero. Watch as these two go undercover in a school meant for monsters. They will be torn down. They will be broken. But they will never give in to the face of villainy. Let us see how they cope with this situation. And a certain vampire girl finds out their secret.
Oh,
This
good
is-
lord, look at that paragraph of an author's note.
Yeah, I noticed. Sneaky, what's with the off-brand Nicolas Cage? Just curious.
That shit is very on brand to me.
Wow, this bottle was a lot more full when I started.
Sneaky.
And you wonder why we want to stage an intervention.
I only drink twice a week.
Now!
Sneaky, you admitted to me before our 4-hour stream that you drank most of that day. Before
That
I messaged
was
you asking if you wanted
rare.
to do something.
That was rare, okay? I just felt really sad.
What, rare like a nor'easter?
Yes!
I think drinking when you're sad is a symptom of depression and alcoholism.
No,
You would
no.
be correct.
The sad definitely came before the alcohol. The
Right,
alcohol
and
is
then
the
you
solution.
drank to make the sad go away, which is alcoholism, Sneaky.
No, because it works.
That...
Oh, jeez.
Jesus, fine. Yeah.
Hi there, y'all. Now I know that I'm experienced at the... Wait, sorry. Let me get my best Cletus impression going for this. He said
Oh,
y'all.
please no. Please no.
I'm in Alabama. Praise Jesus. Hey there, y'all.
What was that for?
I need to know what that was.
What the hell was that vocal warm-up?
Channeling Mama Bird and praising Jesus.
Don't you encourage him.
Is religion not better than alcoholism?
I could see Sneaky doing a "you don't show respect" style monologue. I don't even know what that is.
Stop encouraging him. Right now, all of you.
Fanfics, you don't show me no respect. Fanfic author, you gotta be showing me more respect now, because I am a authoritative individual on the topics of this subject.
Please don't do that again.
I think...
I need you to stop using words.
I don't think that was Southern.
No,
think
it
that
wasn't.
That was the swamps of Louisiana.
Which, as everyone knows, is its own special hell.
It is
So
its
that-
own brand of Southern.
That was the man from the Mattress Barn commercial.
Oh, I need to watch The Godfather. I watched that, like, literally almost a decade and a half ago. Jesus Christ, I'm old. The swamps
Hey, oh.
of...
Yeah, Isley Kilm's here.
Yeah, Kilm's here.
He's been here. He's just been a bit quiet. It's
Yeah, I
been
went
max
off to get
levels
water,
quiet.
so yeah.
Anyway, so as I was saying, hey there, y'all. Now, I know I'm experienced at this, but I've written another story. In fact, I am still writing that story, but I just need to take a break and cool my head down. Now, this story's mainly due to the fact that I haven't seen too many other posters in this category, but like I saw, but don't do anything like that. No, the characters will be themselves, as I usually don't change with all the changes and fundamentals of a character, and their personality won't force that on you. But as the way the story takes place is beginning Rosario Vampire right around the time the 1A class got done with the internships. And I don't know anything from Rosario Vampire or Boku no Pico or any of these sort of things. And if I did, it would probably be horrible, as I don't know how to do my own character development. Okay.
Sneaky, did you just replace Boku no Hero Academia with Boku no Pico?
Yeah.
He did.
Okay, just making sure.
It's basically the same thing, isn't it?
Mm.
Max has taken damage from this. No, look, okay, so, short little story is, my roommate freshman year watched Boku no Pico. Like, once a week. Without headphones on.
Why? Oh god, no, you told me about this guy.
Yeah. But he liked it. I don't know, I don't know, okay? I don't know.
Do you ever figure out why he didn't get headphones for it at least?
No, he
Because much
purposely...
like your brother, he's a bad human being.
No, he used headphones literally all the other times. It's just only when he was watching Boku no Pico he wouldn't use headphones.
Okay. My little brother, he at least has a reason, like he doesn't want to fall asleep with them on and break them. Because he tends to leave computer on to go to sleep too. But he doesn't use them, period. He's consistent about it, at least. Fuck your roommate in particular. Holy shit.
I don't know, I think you might enjoy that. Izuku Midoriya on a mysterious bus location question mark. Hi there, my name is Izuku Midoriya. I'm an up-and-coming hero given the chance from All Might himself, and right now I find myself in a strange situation with All Might sitting next to me. Flashback to 3 hours ago. As I was walking down the path towards the gate with my friends, Tenya, Ilya, and Ochaku Araka, walking beside me. That is... Okay. Okay, so... Author. This is the part where I actually give you usable advice, and anyone that's watching, I'm actually going to give you some usable advice. This is why it's tagged as educational. So, education time. When you portray the story initially as, "Hi there, my name's Izuku Midoriya, I'm going to talk in first person and narrate to myself," you're already shooting yourself in the foot. That's really only used in comedy. It's really only used in comedy. And last I checked, this is not a comedy story.
Well, no, to be fair, that is the ostensible way in which My Hero Academia is being told to us. By Izuku.
Yep, it is.
Okay, I'll give you that, but...
No, like, it's very clear in, at least in certain episodes, where it opens up with him talking about
But this is where the mediums
stuff.
differ. But this is where the mediums differ, though. Like, the... My Hero Academia, "Hi, my name is Izuku, and this is the story on how I became the greatest hero ever with friends, etc., etc." That is given as a preamble, not as, like, a direct part of the story. Like, not as a flashback to 3 hours ago. No, like, the My Hero Academia one is like, I am now the #1 hero. It's like 10, 5, whatever years later. And I'm basically, like, sitting down and telling you this story.
Yes, that's true.
But here, the author is using it as like a, I'm on the bus now, freeze frame, yup, that's me, I bet you're wondering how I got into this situation.
No, Izuku, we're not. It's obviously your fault for being stupid again.
And also, you'll never see flashback to when in a published work. That is also factually true.
Yeah, there's just so many better ways to do that.
Yeah, like I said, keep it as a preamble. Like if you're gonna try and go with that whole preamble theme of this is how I, my name's Izuku Midoriya, and I am the successor to All Might, and this is the story as to how we accidentally got, infiltrated a school full of monsters or something like that. That's a preamble. Not, hi, I'm Izuku Midoriya. I'm currently on a bus with All Might. And freeze flame flashback to 3 hours ago. Like,
yes.
And the other part here is he's now narrating the first person, and the important thing with first person is the way the character thinks. The character, no person ever goes, I am walking down this sidewalk with my best friends Atin and Max. Nobody walking down a sidewalk with their best friends narrates to themselves how they are walking down the sidewalk with the full name of friend 1 and full name of friend 2.
And if any of us was ever actually narrating something like that out loud, the other two would punch them.
Yes, that is a likely occurrence, yes.
Oh, I'd stand back and watch the punching happen, but...
Probably give me a round of face palming. Calvin is currently...
I would say, possibly
muted.
pretend not to know us.
The only time that you would actually be narrating stuff like this would be if you were retelling an event. Which is usually what first person is supposed to do.
But that's the thing, though, is that it's a flashback, not a narrative retelling.
I know. That's that's what I'm taught, like...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though, is that they framed it wrong. They were trying to go for the My Hero Academia framework, and not only did they get that framework wrong, but they set it up wrong, and then they led into the post-that wrong.
Yeah, and that framework is only in the anime as well. Izuku does not do this. I think he does it at the very start of the story.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is that the manga is a continuous stream, while the anime has to contend with all the other animes out there in an episodic format, so that's why they keep it at the beginning of every single episode. It's basically part of the OP.
No, it's not every single episode. It's usually set up like he's... I'm trying to think of how to say it. It's set up almost like, oh fuck, what is it? Can't remember. Damn it. It was a really good movie. Princess Bride. It's almost set up like Princess Bride.
With the old man reading the thing?
Yeah. Like the way that it happens in the anime. It's set up more like that than anything else.
Yeah.
I actually linked some really good Fire Emblem art for you, Atin. Don't know why it's in the degenerate corner, though.
Is it Camilla?
No, it's
Minerva.
Redhead. Yeah, Redhead.
Although it's Minerva with a spear, which is
the original
wrong.
Pyrrha.
They weren't Kiln.
By Kiln.
It's the original Pyrrha.
I mean, except Minerva doesn't die.
Well, yeah.
In fact, she murders the hell out of her brother. It's a great quote, too, because Martha's like, okay, listen, before I let you 1v1 your brother, are you sure you want to do this? No, of course I don't want to kill my own brother. But history needs to remember that when... And Sneaky, to make it really easy for you to understand, when Germany went wrong, it was a German that set it right, is basically what she says.
That's fair. That's fair.
And everybody's kind of like, that is a valid point.
That's fair. I linked it in Degenerate Corner because it's from the cute, sexy robot on Hentai Foundry. Didn't Hentai Foundry close down? Oh no, that was Hentai Haven, right? I don't know this shit. I just remember a meme post being passed around of one of the hentai places being like, "Yo, sorry, we are closing because reasons and stuff." All right, bye, Calvin.
Bye, Calvin.
Oh, well, there goes Calvin. Of course, Iceland knows this.
Hentai Haven was the one that closed. Okay. As I walked down the blah 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 blah, it was a normal day at UA. Young Midoriya is here. That is until a certain symbol of peace arrived with a dust cloud following him in his publicized buff form. All Might, what are you doing here? I asked, getting out of my stupor faster than my friends have. You're being literally fucking taught by the guy. And if this is post internships, you're like what, 6 months in?
I'd say 3 to 6.
Yeah. Okay, so the author doesn't even know his own fucking. I'm not surprised. I'm sorry, young ones, but I need to talk with young Midoriya, All Might told them with his undaunting smile on his face.
I'm sorry, with his what?
Undaunting smile.
No. That's not how any of those words are meant to be used in conjunction in the English language.
Okay. Okay, so the way that he's using this word, All Might is scaring these children.
Yes, I know that.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, just a quick,
Yeah.
just a fun little English lesson. Undaunting is not undaunted.
Yep.
That happens to be on an English test, remember that.
Yep.
Noted.
Undaunted is to not be scared. Undaunting is to scare the shit out of someone.
Yeah, because
I would say much, and then you have words like dauntless, which is basically you're being
Unfearing.
brave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Look.
but you can go home at a later date. He was telling them while he picked me up and started carrying me like a sack of potatoes, making me panic and embarrassed, and started to dash away in a hurry, and also said, "Now watch as a hero leaves like he's got somewhere to be."
Run like you stole something, All Might.
If you stole something, you really shouldn't be running. It makes you look suspicious.
Yeah, okay, but if you're All Might, no one's gonna be able to catch you.
That's fair.
Actually, no, in this world, All Might running is like, oh, I guess he's out to stop a crime. No one actually gets suspicious of All Might in this world.
Oh,
was
my
gonna say-
kidnapped that child! I guess he needed him.
I'm sure he has a good reason to be sprinting down the street with a struggling 13-year-old.
Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if it was, oh, I guess he just saved that kid from a kidnapping.
We'll see you
Like, for
tomorrow,
real,
Deku.
here's the thing. If someone saw All Might running away, just, like, sprinting down the street with bags of money, they'd be like, oh, he must have just stopped a bank robbery and is running to return the money.
Yeah, like,
Basically.
he's the symbol of peace. People take this man at face value.
Look, all I'm saying is, if they ever give All Might a goatee, he could get away with a lot.
Evil Might.
Yeah, it's even the perfect stupid name.
I am not in no way related to my brother, All Might.
Twirls
said that is
mustache.
Huh?
No, the way you said that, it sounds like they're related in multiple ways.
Exactly. I saw my friends say their goodbyes before waving me off and heading home. All Might, what's this all about? I asked my idol and mentor, still in an embarrassed state. Where are you taking me? Try not to fret too much, my boy. So fun little story, because this story's garbage. I was reading a story in which the author declared that All Might was spelled All Might in one word, no space, with lowercase m. And they said, quote, saying All Might makes more sense because every other hero in the series has only one-word names, but All Might has a two-word name, so I changed it to make it more congruent with the rest of the hero names.
Except the problem is, you're wrong. Also, he's supposed to be special. He's Superman.
Super special.
He's also not the only hero with two words.
That's why I said he was wrong.
Yeah,
To start,
like...
to preface it.
Well,
Like, A, you're wrong. B,
very wrong. The Vigilantes manga would like to have a word with you, in fact.
well, also, who's the guy who can make, like, trees come out of him? Isn't it, like, wooden? It's, like, wood something, right?
Mokutan Hero or something like that?
Tree Man.
Basically.
Hang on, let's... And there's also Mount Lady.
Yeah.
I have not.
Yep.
I have not watched much anime, but I have watched a couple episodes of.
For crying out loud, Eraserhead.
Okay, so Birdie, if
there's-
you have a limited amount of anime to watch, I wholeheartedly recommend you sit down and watch the super comfy anime known as Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
Oh, that yeah.
That's
haven't
not a
seen
bad
that.
choice, but I still say go watch My Hero because...
Well, I mean,
it's
if
just
she's
a-
only got so much time and only wants to devote so much time to something, Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is by far one of the better animes in the past couple of years.
Yes, I'll grant you that, but it's not like My Hero is that far along right now.
I mean, it's still 54 episodes in. That's...
I've seen the first 2 seasons of My Hero.
Oh, really? Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then you're caught up.
Like
For the anime, at least.
Like I said, I've seen some of My Hero, and that's one of the things. Is he says my mentor and teacher, but I think that Deku would say something like "and hero, my hero," because it's who he looks up to.
Well, my
like,
personal hero.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, it needs to do the better author.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say it would be something like the symbol of peace and my personal hero.
The Slayers is a great one to watch as well. It's even
Okay,
better
no,
if you
Slayers
know
is
D&D.
great to watch. It's
That-
not
I'm
good if
saying
you
that's
have
what
limited
Isley says.
time.
Yeah, no, oh my god. Slayers is like, what, 5 seasons?
That's one of the reasons I haven't watched it because
Yeah.
it's so long.
Oh, it's so good.
There's five, I mean, the seasons are all like 12 to 24 episodes, I think.
They're all like
Okay, but
24-ish
assuming they're
episodes,
following
yeah.
the 25-minute format.
They're
and
like
even
around
the
20 minutes each.
Okay, but even assuming they're 20 minutes, that's still...
Yeah, it is still a significant time investment.
Oh, Oh. Actually, it's roughly the same length as watching OG Gundam and Zeta Gundam.
Really?
But here's the difference. Those are easier to split up.
True.
And it's split into 5 seasons each. Like, the first season is the first half of Gundam. The second season is the second half of Gundam. Then the third season is like the first season of Zeta Gundam. And the last 2 seasons are split in half for 13 episodes each. It's the same amount no matter what you do. As a whole, as a narrative, they're better as a whole. Like, it
Yes,
doesn't matter how you say better to split up. It's actually easier to split Slayers than it is to split Gundam and Zeta.
no, it's not, because Gundam is one show. I can watch
Yes.
Gundam and watch none of Zeta.
Except that then you're ignoring a continuation. You're only looking at the first quarter of a series.
No,
That is
but
the
here's the
exact same
difference.
as saying I can just watch the first
Gundam
episode.
was made, and then they didn't think anything else was going to happen, so they ended Gundam.
No, Gundam was canceled.
Cut
There's a
Gundam down.
difference.
They slaughtered Gundam.
Oh, be
Actually,
quiet,
yes, that's
you.
exactly what happened, Sneaky.
They
Gundam
took
got
Gundam
canceled.
out back and they shot it in the head.
Oh,
If you guys don't
it's
stop
just
being
making
mean,
me.
don't be mean to Gundam. Max is obviously getting upset. He's getting triggered, guys. And look at
Max
his
is
face.
getting triggered. We have to stop talking about Gundam.
At least it's such a disparaging
I can't
tone.
mute Sneaky.
I mean, you can. He'll just unmute himself.
That's okay, Birdie. I support you.
Thank you.
Alright, let's continue. It's true! Try not to fret too much, boy! He told me while still running back towards the entrance. All will be explained in due time! He tried to assure me, but doing so was a little difficult when you're being lugged around by the world's #1 hero. I don't know, I think pretty much anything the world's #1 hero telling me, as long as it wasn't, I'm about to take you into a combat scenario, pretty much anything besides that exact line would reassure me.
I mean, given that it's All Might, even if he said, "I'm taking you into the middle of a fight," I would still be kind of like.
I mean, yes, I would still be a little worried though, because it's like, oh man.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm just saying, like, if I have to be dragged into an active combat zone,
At least it's
with All Might. Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be like if Superman picked up a child and was like, "Listen, I need you to stop a war. You're coming with me." The kid be like, "I mean,
Look, kid, I need you to help me save the day. I'll explain as we fly.
throws kid into the reactor. I just needed one more body to destabilize the reaction."
Pelts kid into reactor. Fucking just touchdown dance.
This escalated.
I'm sorry, now I'm
horribly.
just imagining Superman spiking Ace into the ground. No, actually, I'm sorry. Spiking Damian Wayne.
Alright, let's continue. Flashback! Flash forward! An hour later. After panicking for, okay, so in the Dark Souls story Max and I are writing, we are very distinctly mocking this sort of thing, especially in the chapter we're currently writing still. I'll swear I'll get around to it someday.
Yeah, sure you will.
But we are mocking the whole flashback thing. Like, we have, how many lines do we have where we're cracking jokes about the flashback thing, Max?
Not many at all, actually. Well, actually, sorry, I take that back. The entire chapter.
The entire chapter is basically a flashback joke.
Yeah.
Sneaky says, "We're doing something. Tell them that we're doing something." Well, we're not really doing it, but maybe we are doing it. Yeah, we're doing it.
Every conversation with Max.
Sneaky, we shouldn't do this.
Fuck it, full throttle.
Then proceed. Here's the problem with Sneaky. Sneaky will go full throttle, and then it's done. That's it. He's done. You'll never get anything else out of him. That's how he rolls.
That's
flashbacks to fighting the immortal thug.
Every adventure with Sneaky in a game is an interesting experience, that's for sure.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. You start playing a game with Sneaky. Either you finish it in a week, or you'll finish it in a year.
This is factual. But anyway, so point being is that flash forwards are stupid. Literally, you don't need the flash forward. All you need to say is, an hour later, when X had YZ, continue. Like, the even worse I see so often is it's like, flashback to X time ago. And then you get like 4 paragraphs in, it's like, flash forward to, half of X time ago. It's just like, ugh. Don't do flashbacks inside of You're not Kishimoto. You don't write the #1 most popular shonen outside of Japan. You're not gonna get away with the flashback inside a flashback inside a flash forward flashback. Also,
Pretty much.
It makes you look dumb. It makes you look.
It's still fucking ridiculous. I remember an Naruto episode that was. I don't remember which one it was. It involved Neji, didn't it?
No, it was the Senju flashback where it was resurrected Tobriyama meets resurrected Madara, and they both have a flashback where like when they first met, and then it was like a flashback inside that to like them fighting at a different time. It was dumb. It was really dumb.
Then.
Point being is don't do it. After panicking half the time All Might carried me around, we eventually found ourselves in the principal's office, standing in front of Wait, the fuck?
What's it saying?
Standing in front of the small, with All Might now in his true skeletal, sickly-looking form. Why would Principal need to speak with me in All Might when I asked him earlier? It seems as if he didn't know that much himself, just what is going on right now. End thought bubble. Right as I was about to ask why we were here, and seemingly reading my thoughts. What? I mean, look, I will admit, I'm a little bit inebriated. But I am fairly certain nobody else understood that. Thank you.
No, I understood it, but that's more effort than I want to put into deciphering what occurred.
You're probably both wondering why I called you both in here. The small principal stated with his small paws intertwined with his usual smile on his face. Now, I understand the confusion, so I'll just make it short and simple, as your ride will be here momentarily. What he said had taken us aback. Hey, what do you mean by our ride? My mentor asked with his sunken eyes widened. Oh yes, well it seems we have come across a tip that points us in the direction of a possible hideout for the League of Villains. The principal was explaining, you gotta capitalize principal because it's its title. Like, you're not saying the principals. You're saying the principal, as in the title, principal of a school. It's capitalized. Was explaining as he hopped out of his chair and started walking around his desk and towards us. And the source of the tip came exclusively from the faculty I'm sending you both to. Oh, sorry, the facility I'm sending you both to. Okay,
try,
I
though.
understand why you'd send me, but why send young Midoriya? All Might didn't mean to sound rude, he was just stating why Nezu would knowingly send a student into a dangerous situation, and I couldn't help but silently agree. I mean, I wouldn't send any more pros to find that hideout, and young Midoriya is still in training and he doesn't even have a provisional license yet. I understand your concerns, but sending in too many pros all at once could alert the villains of our presence and jeopardize the operation. And
So you're going to send the most recognizable person on the planet,
Yeah.
and a 12-year-old.
Not only is he sending the most recognizable person on the planet and the 12-year-old, he's also sending the most recognizable 12-year-old on the planet.
Oh yeah, it's after internships.
This is
so
post-internships.
Yes.
No, they still wouldn't be familiar with him. Remember, they kept that information hidden from the public.
No,
concerning what all
remember
occurred.
the tournament was publicized.
Yeah. Well, no. So then, I guess if the tournament was publicized, the most recognizable one would be Bakugo, followed by
Well, no, because you gotta
Todoroki.
remember that the only reason why Midoriya didn't continue was because he basically damaged himself too much in the fight.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. He wasn't the winner.
No, he wasn't the winner, but he definitely had the most dramatic fight, I could say.
Bakugo and Todoroki would be equally recognizable.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not saying they wouldn't. I'm just saying that his was
Here's
a
the thing.
very
All three of
dramatic
them
fight.
would be of anyone you could send. Those three are the worst.
And also, isn't
Yeah.
he 14?
I don't know. I was just repeating the number that I hadn't said.
I'm
they're
just purposely
14 or
making him
15.
younger than normal to make it sound like a worse decision. It's still a terrible decision.
This was at the end of what, 7th grade, so 8th grade.
No, I think they were going through high school at the time that they applied.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
thought-
UA's a high school.
I
They're
thought
15 or
UA
16.
was high school. That's what I'm saying. 8th grade. So
They're 15 or 16 by this point in the story. But either way, like they're technically young adults by this point, or going into young adulthood.
Well, no, I would say it also depends on when they were born. Like,
no, I mean, let's see. What is it?
The average age is 15 to 16 when you're going into freshman year in Japan, if this is the fill-in for high school.
right? I forgot we're operating off a different school system.
Yeah,
About 15. Yeah, so 15-ish. Yeah.
15 at the youngest, I think.
14
Which
to
makes it
16, basically.
Better, but not a lot.
But anyway, so blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. I was completely silent on the whole
You know-
situation, and
Eraser and Mind Control Kid would have been a better choice for this.
no. All right, so I see. So I am going to, regardless of what the author's logic is, I'm going to justify this actually. So this is Rosario Vampire School they are going to, right?
Yeah.
And what they need is abnormal abilities. And the problem with sending a hero like Eraserhead or a majority of the other heroes is that, or specifically Eraserhead in this instance, his ability is to prevent other humans from accessing their emitters that give them their superpowers. And unless the author is adjusting how the Rosario Vampire verse works, all of those people, quote unquote, in Rosario Vampire aren't based off of superhuman abilities. They are literally not human. And so Eraserhead would literally be just a normal human, admittedly a highly skilled, but literally just a normal human.
I'm referring purely to his investigation skills.
Yes, but the other key part there is if you don't want your group to be detected at this location, sending someone who can transform into a super buff, unstoppable monster form, quote unquote, would fit more in than a person who can seemingly do nothing but be very skilled at being human.
Okay, but in that line of logic, why not send the guy with a bird head?
Yes, that is yes.
Yeah.
Well, I said I was going to justify the author's choices in terms of obviously it needs to be Midoriya, and I mean it doesn't need to be All Might, but as
There's
far
also
as adult supervision goes, in terms of people you can pull off the roster, All Might is basically already benched in terms of showcasing. And
Actually,
so,
there's a handful of other heroes, pro heroes.
well, no, I'm not saying there isn't, but what I'm saying is that, you know, some sort of like excuse of like, oh, All Might is going undercover to chase after villains or something. Everyone just be like, oh, okay. They don't have to say League of Villains. They don't have to say anything like that. They just be like, All Might is working on a villain situation in a blank place, and everyone will just be like, oh, okay. And already, because he only has 3 hours per day, he's already pretty much reduced his ability to show up in the public quite significantly. So those 3 hours, while they might be a bit more noticeable than not having the 3 hours there, most of the other way around. The not being there for 3 hours is maybe a bit more noticeable than being there for 3 hours every day in terms of media spotlight. Just, you know, claiming he's going underground to go take out a cartel secretly. Everyone will literally just buy that. Nobody will question it because it's All Might. But
No, they'd question how the fuck he gets anything done undercover.
well, I mean,
He's not good at undercover work. This is actually a joke that occurs a handful of times in Vigilantes. Like, I can come undercover. No, we're good. You don't need to.
yeah, I know.
See, this is why every universe needs Batman. Someone who can just sit on a rooftop for hours, months at a time, and no one will ask any question. Batman's been sitting on that roof for 6 months.
So, someone actually linked a comic earlier in another Discord I'm in of Superman fighting some guy. And the guy is like, I'm invincible, you can't hurt me. And then Superman punches him, and he's like, oh my god, ow, that actually hurt, what the hell? And Superman's like, yeah, I'm actually wearing this ring, you see. And it's a specially created mineral that doesn't exist in reality until it was created in a lab. And it was created just for you, because sometimes it pays to have paranoid friends. And then the scene switches to Batman smirking, watching the fight.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. See,
Clarification.
I would say, because that's the thing, right? People always give Batman shit for like, oh, you have a plan to beat the entire Justice League. Oh, well, what's the plan to beat? It's like, everybody complains about that, right up until one of y'all's mind controlled. And then they immediately go, Batman, what's the plan to stop Green Lantern, The Flash, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Superman, Robin, you?
Literally.
What's the plan to stop Dr. Fate?
Yeah, it's like, oh, now you want the plan, alright.
Because, boy, that one was a doozy of a plan. Which consists... Go ahead, sorry.
Eraserhead is the anemic ninja guy, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
The one whose superpower is anti-fun.
Yeah, well, I was trying to figure out which of the superheroes had an eraser for a head. It was...
That's a fair assumption.
Like, was it that pink guy? No, he was animals. What was the other one? It was not a good time.
But yeah, I will say that here's the thing, right? I've always liked Eraserhead, and more specifically his set of powers, because when someone does a what's your superpower, turning everybody else's superpowers off, it can either be done really poorly or really well, and when it's done really well, it's a lot of fun to read.
What up, bitch? I'm a wild bitch. My superpower is to punch you with the dick.
That's a very specific one. Too bad it only works on 50% of the population. Unless the act of punching it causes it to spontaneously appear on the other 50%, in which case I have several questions that I want no answers to.
Exactly. But anyway, so back to this story is I actually think there would be some value here to sending All Might in as like a guest teacher and sending, because he is already in a line. All Might's ability to be subtle is about in alignment with all the other teachers in the school to be subtle. Which is to say, none of them are fucking subtle.
Yeah.
But no. Actually, a good number of them are.
Well, until the main character stumbles upon their plots. But point being is that the anemic ninja is the best description I've ever heard.
Midnight and Eraser are approached often for investigations.
Yeah.
I know, but my point is that
it's a bad point then.
My point is that he would fit in with the, like, it wouldn't be too unusual for All Might to go from some sickly bleeding thing to suddenly buff and unstoppable, and everyone just be like, oh, he's just really bad at controlling his monster form, like literally every other fucking teacher in school.
That's true. By the way, we also forgot about Present Mike, another hero with 2 names.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, there you go.
There's multiple here. Yeah, there's.
I'm just saying we've named like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Thus, the author, that person was.
I wouldn't know what the fuck that author was thinking.
But what the real core value points are would be Tokoyami or whatever the hell, Birdface, whatever his name is. That's Tokoyami, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Midoriya going, because obviously Midoriya for the main character draw value. But Tokoyami, because as you all said, looks like a bird person.
Yeah, you can actually get the excuse of, I'm not good at controlling my yokai abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Like Atin said, like, that's perfect.
Yep. And I mean, like, his darkness has a second personality and everything. Like it is so easily to pass that off as like a yokai thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
here's the other question though: if this is like, if the author's like, "Oh, yokai is still a thing," that means that he's ignoring the fact that quirks would make it super easy for them to just exist among the general population now.
Well,
I would say, like, as soon as quirks started happening, they could all just be like, "Yeah, we've had these quirks for years, but we were afraid."
No, see, the problem would be there in that, while it seems that for Todoroki, that's what his name is, it was really odd that all of them got literally ice and fire powers. It seems for everyone else, it's very esoteric in the relation. Like, the mother of Bakugo secretes sugar, so Bakugo secretes explosives because they're in the glycerin family. It's very loose in terms of inheritance, is what I'm trying to say. And literally quote-unquote clans.
Well, yeah, no, but what we're saying is, Sneaky, with the amount of crazy things that people can do, most of those monsters wouldn't even be that. Compare that to someone like, what's the dude that can, like, literally make extra mouths come out of himself?
No, I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, in response, is the fact that all of the monsters of X group have literally all of the same abilities would be maybe not a red flag, but it would be suspicious to groups in the government and whatnot.
Sure, but the general populace probably wouldn't care. And B, even ignoring that, they wouldn't even necessarily have to say their quirks. They could just be like, yeah, supernatural stuff's existed for forever, but we've tried to stay away because we were stupid powerful and we knew you guys would be afraid. Mm-hmm. But now that there are dudes who can punch so hard that, like, it disrupts the frickin' atmosphere, we don't really see a reason to, like, hide.
I get that, but then you also have to consider the fact that pretty much a majority of monsters in Rosario Vampire consider humans to be food or worse.
Yeah, but that opinion would also have to logically change when confronted with people that can... Because here's the thing, right? If you look at, let's take a vampire and compare that to a normal human. Of course the human is nothing but food. But compare that, take a vampire and compare that to a dude who can electrocute you.
Yes, but the thing is that there's already people that can do that sort of shit. And they're called witches. They can use magic and crap, and they're already...
But that's a much smaller subset of the population. Because remember... we are in My Hero Academia.
But in Rosario Vampire, the discrimination against witches is not because they are a small subset. It's because they are human derivative.
I know that, Sneaky, but my point is, because they're a small subset, it's still easy to dismiss them. That opinion would have to be looked at differently when you go from 5% of the population can electrocute me to... something like 97% of the population 80%. Can do something.
Yeah, 80% of the human population has a quirk of some kind.
Now, not all of them are going to be useful, but even if 60% of them have some kind of useful self-defense application, that changes... That logically has to change their opinion, because now it goes from, I can snack on pretty much anyone I want with impunity, to... If I try to snack on this guy, I might end up frozen or electrocuted or shot into the atmosphere or dead.
Yeah, but you're using logic there, and as we've all seen from the DxD verse, the Rosario Vampire verse, logic is in very short supply.
I mean, here's the thing. Like I said, I don't know anything. The only thing I know about Rosario Vampire is what we've seen on this damn show.
Okay, so basically, the thing is with Rosario Vampire is that vampires are considered, like, literally the strongest thing besides the Dark Lords.
Right.
Except everyone in the school who has constantly seen, like, at the start, it could kind of be forgiven because the main character, who is the vampire, is very airheady and ditzy and friendly. And at the start, it could be kind of excused as, like, oh, everyone's just, like, thinking she's weak or something. But literally past the first sub-arc, which is the first, like, 2 chapters, where she one-shots an orc.
Which were kind of low on the totem pole to begin with.
Which were low on the yes, we're admittedly low on the totem pole. But then she proceeds to continuously one-shot people again and again and again. And, like, most of the conflict resolution in, I would say, the good first half to 75% of the first season of Rosario Vampire, and I'm talking manga first season, because there is Rosario Vampire 2 in manga, is...
Why'd you have to remind me?
The vampire one-shotting whoever's causing the conflict at that time.
Gotcha.
With a kick.
With a single kick, yeah. And so it gets to a certain point where it's not believable that if there was logic to go around, people would keep picking fights with her. But they do.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem with that, Sneaky. That's a failing inherent to the story because the author's a bad author.
Yes, I will not dispute you on this, but that is the precedent they set in their universe.
Right. But as we've pointed out many times, one of the nice things about fan fiction is that you can change things, especially things that one of the many reasons people will write fan fictions is because they'll disagree with the way the author has written something.
Except the Rosario Vampire section is literally the Rosario Vampire section is replaced with a Rosario Vampire canon with Rosario Vampire canon, except Sukune just magically has the ability to solve all the situations, usually before the vampire does with a single kick. That is a majority of the fanfic. So
Okay.
Literally nothing changes except for the part where it's Sukune, the main character, solving the problem instead of Mocha, the vampire.
Well, again, that's just poor writing.
Yes, I will not disagree with you, like I said, on that point.
So here, I guess the long and short of this comes down to my problem is I had too high of expectations for anyone being half decent.
Yes. More or less. Yes. And so anyway, back to this story, because basically the author started off the story bad. The author already had didn't even have a hook to start with. And the hook they attempted was so rotten through, it didn't even meet contact with the water. You know, it
hit the water and disintegrated.
Yeah. Like, they had a hook. It's not there anymore by the time it reaches us. And so, yeah, blah, 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 you have to go because the reasons. Won't it be weird if All Might disappears? Yeah, we came up with a solution for that. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. If a villain tries to blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah. I don't need to tell you the solution we have because that's not important to the story. Blah, blah, blah. Friends and classmates. I've already given an excuse. Oh my god, what about my mom? Midoriya, we've already figured this out. Midoriya, mumble, 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 mumble joke. Ha 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 ha. Midoriya, you gotta stop mumbling so much. Ha 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 ha. Blah blah, blah blah, blah blah. End of flashback, we're on the bus again. Blah 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 mumble 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 jokes.
It's just, oh my god, yeah, he just keeps muttering. Oh god.
Yep. Wow.
Blah 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 walls of text. Blah blah walls of text. Blah blah wall of text. Blah blah blah. Repeating the same words over and over again because apparently that adds importance to them. Blah blah, your stop, blah blah, they get. Oh, wait, I thought the author was repeating All Might, Izuku, and Bus Driver because, like, he was, like, trying to, like, push some sort of narrative there. No, like, he is, without any form of delineating the fact that the point of view is switching the point of view.
Mm-hmm.
All Might goes, "What's up with the water?" I'm not even kidding, that's literally a line.
I see.
Blah blah, villains are adjusting reality with their quirk, and blah blah. Texas Smash! And then he punched Izuku in the face, but not with One for All, and he told Izuku to pay attention. And blah, 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 blah. We gotta go see the headmaster. What's going on? Blah, blah. You're going in the wrong direction. I've memorized it all. Oh, okay, Midoriya, you're so great and stuff. I'll follow you. All Might. A single paragraph about how great Midoriya is and how old All Might's getting. Back to Izuku. Izuku is navigating the forest like a champ. And then a bat flew in front of him and said, "Hi, I'm a bat. Wee," and then flew away. You mean the talking bat that is the familiar of Mocha's little sister that specifically only appears when Mocha's sister shows up?
I don't recall any other bats outside of that little jackass.
Yep. Look out! And then suddenly a bicycle hit Midoriya. What are the odds? Midoriya is taking the place of Sukune. Which, to be fair, Sukune is basically a potato until Rosario Vampire 2. So, I mean, it's really easy to replace him with pretty much anyone.
Yeah.
I'm resisting your abilities to sway me with your boobs and stuff. Oh, wow. You can resist my ability to sway you. You must be clearly my chosen forever mate. I am now going to be in your harem no matter what. You were nice to me and said nice things to me when I first met you. I am now in love with you. You looked at me once. I am now in love with you. Sorry, Vampire.
Alright, anyway, we got 4 minutes left. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah. Blah blah. Oh, I'm so ditzy. Blah blah blah. It's Mocha. Blah blah. Oh no, you bleeding.
Oh no.
And then she hugged him.
Holy shit, Birdie's still here.
Oh my god.
She never left.
I sort of left. I had to go pretend to do the dishes for a bit.
Birdie,
Hold on,
shield
what do you
your
mean
eyes.
pretend to do the dishes?
I'm pretty sure she was really exact in what she said.
Well,
No,
oh,
but like, how do you get away with that? Like, it's not like you can pretend to do the dishes, come back, and then be like, oh yeah, dish has been washed.
Well, you just kind of stand around the dishwasher and kind of put things away for the 10 minutes, and you have to talk to your parents, and then as soon as they leave, you go back upstairs to get your computer, and then you could bring it downstairs so that you can continue to be part of the podcast while you actually do the dishes.
Ah.
Playing it
Yeah.
like a champ.
That sounds needlessly complicated, but alright.
I applaud your enthusiasm.
See, I'm big brain smart.
Yeah, that's definitely a big brain thing.
You okay there, Sneaky?
He probably had another stroke.
Or another shot.
Speak.
Perhaps a bit of
Possibly
both.
all of them.
Izuku I was not taking this situation well. She was all over me and she's like sniffing my neck and now she's biting my neck. And Uraraka is standing there like, oh, my Deku senses are tingling. Someone is infringing upon my ship.
I mean, anyone who ships anything else is wrong, so...
And then back to
There's only
Izuku.
one ship.
Oh my god, she's drinking my blood. You're a vampire? Yeah, I'm a vampire.
Yeah, maybe you should be, like, punching her, dude. You should, because now you've lost all for one.
Oh, well, no, because
No.
all for
Right,
one
'cause
is
he didn't agree
transfer-
to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then again, who knows how it might interact with a vampire?
And then she's
It
like, thanks for letting me drink your
Probably
blood.
wouldn't.
And he's like, yeah, no problem. And we should be
Should-
friends. And then she's like, yeah, I would love to be friends with you, Sukune. I mean, Midoriya.
Okay, look, all I'm saying is if someone randomly came up and started taking a drink out of my neck, A, I would be like, get off. B, if I just let them go for as long as they want, by the time they finished, I'm pretty sure I'd be far too lightheaded to do anything but fall on the ground.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of those things where you need consent beforehand, otherwise it's a federal crime.
First, you firmly grip by the front, and then you push off, and you go, hold on a second. A, I am not a juice box. B, you did not pay me. C, I'm not that cheap.
D, you didn't even offer me vampire powers.
D, have you been checked for STDs recently?
Or even bloodborne pathogens. Because I know I have it.
E, psych! I got AIDS. You dead now, son.
God damn it, Sneaky.
Why are you like this?
I mean, we know why, because he's a complete and utter wreck of a human being.
This is all factual.
Quite literally, whose impulse control is so small, it may as well be non-existent.
Yeah, this is all factual information.
Literally medically factual.
Medically, yes. I managed to find my way to the classroom on time, just in time to be Sukune and blah 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 canon, blah 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 canon. Blah 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 blah. Hello, my name is Yagi. This is my new colleague. And now you're all probably wondering why this guy's here. He's gonna be my assistant and substitute.
Oh, that looks really nice. Thank you for sending that to me, Max.
Blah 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 blah. Mr. The Yokai, a very unique school full of monsters. Wait, what? 360 no scope retake? And then it switches to All Might, and then All Might's like, wait, what?
That seems like it should have been in the welcome brochure.
It was.
Oh, okay. Well,
They just didn't read it.
Yeah.
They need to read the welcome brochure. Has relevant plot information.
Currently, the planet is under control of the humans, with 80% of the population having quirks. In order for monsters to survive, we need to learn how to exist with them. And first rule, blah blah blah, canon, blah 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 blah, canon, 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 canon. Izuku, canon, 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 Saizo,
Is there anything
canon,
not canon
canon,
in there?
canon, canon. Canon, 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 canon. Canon, canon. Deku!
What would happen if we fired the cannon at the ship?
I think it
Hopefully
would
it's
sink. Yeah, Max and I are in sync.
I think the last time this happened, I think a hunter got double shotgun last time we were in sync like this.
Yeah.
Just had to register my objection by leaving briefly.
But I want it that way. Wait, is that Backstreet Boys?
I don't know.
Assuming I know things.
Well, we don't expect you to know because those are boy bands from before your time.
That was Backstreet Boys, yeah.
Shit. What was
Thank you.
NSYNC?
Baby, come back.
NSYNC is planning a reunion tour without Justin Timberlake.
That's for the best, probably. By the way, if anyone ever wants to read
bye bye.
I would say if anyone ever wants to read a really fun set of vampire books that have nothing to do with normal vampire nonsense, I suggest Fred, the Vampire Accountant.
Oh, that's actually a good series.
Oh, you've read Fred?
I've heard of it.
I do recommend people read it. They're all like short stories, and none of them are connected. So, like, if you like the first one, you can just go, oh, let's just get more like fun stories of this, and it doesn't take long to happen. to read. I don't know. My brain, look, it's 8:04. 2 hours of this show reduces my ability to word.
I'm doing this tonight. You're probably gonna start a fight. I know it can't be right. Hey, baby, come on.
Apparently 2 hours also reduces Sneaky's ability to sing by a large margin.
No, he never possessed one. Let's
No,
be clear
the
here.
only genre I am capable of singing without making ears bleed is going to be country.
And here's the thing. I like you people enough to know that I'm never gonna sing.
Alright, so let's wrap this up. Blah blah blah. Monster realms, blah blah blah. How do we never figure this out before? Vending machine. Blah blah blah. Oh, you so silly, and then she just slammed me into. So let's see. Blah blah. Cannon. Replace Sukune with Izuku. Cannon. Cannon. Don't tell me you're yeah, cannon. Yep. Still, for some reason, Deku's just like, OMG, I can't handle being in a monster school.
I actually feel like Deku would probably adapt to this pretty well, having grown up his entire life around quirks.
And then,
well, more specifically, growing up as the only not superpowered child surrounded by people that can break buildings and explode, and the list goes on.
So
Birdhead.
Mocha then picks up his hero journal that details quirks, and she's like, "Oh my god, what's this? Quirks? I hate humans. Cannon. I identify with you, but I'm human, and I'm leaving. Deku, wait! I can't believe this caring person is human." Cannon. Moments earlier. Smash! And then he punched Saizo. And Saizo went flying away. Then Saizo popped up again and was like, "Lol, bitch, that was pathetic." Cannon. He's kicking the shit out of Izuku. Cannon. What do you think a small fire monster like you can do? I'm no monster, I'm a hero! Detroit Smash! Detroit Smash! Detroit Smash!
Yeah.
Does he just keep yelling that?
Yeah,
or are you just
he
being
literally
you?
just keeps yelling that. And then he pulled his fist back finally and couldn't see Saizo anymore because he was blasted into the atmosphere. And then blah blah blah. And then suddenly the Rosario goes, "Don't let your guard down just because you got a lucky hit in." Right. So, author, you know the Rosario was only capable of letting inner Mocha leak out and talk to Mocha after being taken off, like, 20 times when it's not supposed to be taken off at all? Ever?
It took a bit of time for the bleed over effect.
Blah blah blah. Who are you? Blah blah blah. But he's now communicating with Inner Mocha mentally. Blah blah. Your quirk, something to do with how you're able to communicate with me. Blah 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 blah. True power overwhelming. Hold up there, Mr. Hero, said the Silver Girl in a sarcastic voice, and then I blacked out. Blah blah. Inner Mocha then was like, he did this using only 10% of his power. Wow, he's so sexy and stuff, because at 100% he'd be even stronger. And wow, he's so soft and muscly. And then back to Izuku, and then Silver Mocha is there, and she's like, hey, I really like you and stuff. Because the author is just gonna skip like 6 arcs of plot and character development. Which, I mean, as much as shit as Rosario Vampire deserves, they actually did have character development. Like, a lot of character development.
Anyway.
And it was a comprehensive story all the way through, at least in the manga.
Yeah. I mean, the anime was a lot more fan servicey than...
Oh, yes, the anime was aimed almost exclusively at fan service.
Blah blah blah, I like you a bunch, blah 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 blah, this is gonna be a great school year. Who is gonna be paired with the Zuku? Inner and Outer Moko, Karumu, Mizor, Ochanko, or Haram? Please PM me if you have more ideas.
Oh my god.
Alright, well, with it being 9/11, I am required to remind you all that jet fuel does not melt steel beams. But if you wish to...
Oh my god.
If you wish
Of all the things to die about, of all the things Sneaky said today, that's the one. Oh my god.
People are like, why do you think he's gonna get you banned?
And now everyone knows precisely why Atin is screaming, "You're going to get us kicked" in the birdie photo.
That is exactly why.
Because I'm right! You damn degenerate.
I am not a degenerate.
Yes, you are.
I am an upstanding and puritanical individual.
Stop fucking lying to your teeth, goddamn.
Thank you, Max. Thank you.
Alright, well, if you can catch us all at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Tuesdays and Fridays, you can also find us on the YouTube page down below, which all you gotta do is click on the big old icon, which you would think is self-explanatory, but apparently it's not.
Super not explanatory. I don't know what you're talking about. Sounds hard.
Look, I had to explain to someone how to get to my YouTube page, and I'm just like, yeah, it's on my Twitch thing. And they're like, I can't find it. I was like, the big thing that says shilling, click here to go to YouTube. And they're like, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to click on the image. And I'm just like...
Have they never seen a hyperlink image before?
I'm sorry, I can't cure stupid. Anyway, everything gets archived to YouTube, so if you ever do miss a Twitch session, it'll all go on up to YouTube until they finally ban us for some clearly unknown, unbiased reasoning. And that's about summarizes everything I have to say right now. I can't think of anything out of my mind. So everyone should have a grand old time, and we will see you Friday, because remember, there is always more, and it will always get worse.